we are getting ready to go out for the processional for the celebration of life. That has to be the most awesome ducks I have seen yet.
Haven't seen those?
No.
Allison has provided the sunshine today, as is evidenced in the picture I took of her Jeep yesterday in front of the building. If you haven't seen it, it's online. We have Randy's going to come up and say a few words. Randi Law. She is my Jeeper preacher that I reached out in town. I'm not sure how well
I definitely want to thank everybody who came out today. It's amazing what one person doing an act of kindness out of a rough situation, what a difference it can make. I mean, what a lesson for everyone. You know, it's easy to tell your kids you gotta be nice. And sometimes as adults, we don't do the same. A kid forgets so quickly, and a kid's always looking for something simple to do. You know, and Allison did that. Allison used that kid heart and just did something silly. And it has transformed lives around the world. Do you realize 86 countries was the last count? Wow. That people are doing DuckDuckJeep. And the funny thing is, her mom is a teacher. So I think that upbringing was there. I'm going to read this real quick. This is something that was on Eric's heart when he wrote it, and I didn't really want to change it. It speaks of what the dealership really, how they felt about Allison, and I think it's important, it's special. It wasn't a partnership, it's a friendship. that Thunder had with Allison. I mean, a close friendship. So I'm going to read what he had written down. It is both a privilege and a heartfelt duty to speak about a woman who left an indelible mark on our hearts and our community. Allison was more than just a Jeep enthusiast. She was a beacon of positivity and kindness. Her creation of the hashtag DuckDuckJeep movement brought joy and unity to Jeep lovers around the world. It started with a simple act of placing a rubber duck on a Jeep, transformed into a friendship. Thunder Chrysler, we are honored to be a core sponsor and donor of Allison's Jeep. The collaboration was more than a business partnership. It was a testament to our shared values and vision for the Jeep community. She brought people together not just through her love for Jeeps, but through her genuine care for others. Our times together with Allison and the hashtag DuckDuckJeep initiative were filled with unforgettable moments. From the laughter and smiles at events to countless stories of connections made through our shared love of Jeeps. And I have to say something that Allison's mom was telling me that I didn't know. Allison was not a hugger, but people who knew her, got to meet her at events, would always hug. And you know what? Allison hugged back, because that was an act of kindness. That was something she knew that person needed. Allison was always putting somebody else ahead of her life. So again, it's a lesson from Allison's life to others. Sometimes you have to do something that may be a little uncomfortable, but if it brings somebody else a smile, it's worth it. It's worth it. And you don't know how it's going to change that person, what that person might go on ahead and do for somebody else later on. Allison's influence was profound. She showed us that even the smallest gesture, like placing a duck on a Jeep, could have a ripple effect, creating bonds that transcend boundaries. As we reflect on Allison's life, we remember her as a shining example of how one person's passion can change the world. Her legacy will continue to live on in every duck placed on a Jeep, in every smile shared among the Jeep owners, and the hearts of all who knew her. Your legacy will continue to inspire us with the deepest respect and gratitude. Thunder Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram family. Her mom was telling me that because her life was not easy, she knew when people needed kindness. Even though the duck movement is nothing if not lighthearted, it didn't exactly start that way. DuckDuckJeep founder Allison Parliament was traveling by Jeep to her native Ontario from Alabama, where she lived. She pulled over for a much-needed fuel stop and almost immediately found herself in the middle of an angry confrontation. A man at the gas station saw her U.S. vehicle tags. Remember, this was during COVID. This is 2020. And approached her yelling that she needed to return to her country. He told me I was a dirty American spreading COVID and just wanted to hurt people. After driving for 13 hours, a native Canadian and dual U.S. citizen couldn't make it clear to him that he was wrong. When he began shoving her, she bruised herself on her own Jeep's running boards trying to get away. Shaken up, she called her partner and remained on the phone until she got to the next fuel stop. The call helped her keep going. Wanting to do something fun for her partner in return, Allison bought a bag of rubber ducks. She planned to prank her partner hiding them around the house. When she ran into a tricked-out Jeep in a parking lot, she decided to grab one of the ducks and leave it as a tribute, just a little token to say, hey, nice Jeep. Wow. But the owner noticed her and came out to investigate. This time her encounter with a stranger was much different. He loved the idea of the duck tribute and told her she should put it on Instagram and Facebook. Once she did, along with the hashtag DuckDuckJeep, the rest is history. The hashtag went viral in a matter of days. I've seen a lot of scary things and a lot of good things in my life, Allison told us at Thunder. I've dealt with a lot of chaos in some ways, and I didn't want anybody to feel the way I did after the guy hurt me. So we wanted to make the difference. Now, years into the movement, DuckDuckJeep has gone international. People everywhere are leaving rubber ducks and little appreciation notes on others' Jeeps. We have Jeepers in Kosovo. We have Jeepers in Greece, Allison said. We have one in Cairo, Egypt. We even have duckers in Australia. It's really cool. DuckDuckJeep Australia, it's its own group now. It's amazing to think of things that we've been able to influence and change. Like I said before, so far, 86 countries. We don't know what each other is dealing with in each other's lives. Allison told us we could walk a mile in someone else's shoes and never understand. So kindness goes a long way, no matter what you're going through. Her simple yet powerful initiative brought joy, kindness, sense of camaraderie to keep enthusiasts around the globe. What a difference one life can make.
Yes.
You know,
Amen.
I think of, as a pastor, the Lord is that way. See, Jesus said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Jesus came to bring joy in people's lives. You know, that's who we're supposed to be. We're created in his image. God brings joy. You know, these little ducks,
Amen.
they bring a smile. You combine a duck with the love of the Lord,
Amen.
boy, do you have you have a life changer. Little things can make a big difference.
My name is Red, and to Allison, I was somewhat of a confidant, guidance. She had, when Duck Duck began, this all kind of fell in her lap. And being exposed to sponsorships and businesses and stuff is not something that most people can just naturally segue into and be able to avoid the multitude of landmines that are out there of people that are looking to take advantage of you, as you can probably imagine. Allison and I spoke probably every other day or so, pretty close to that. And when she first started talking to me about Thunder, she was scared of what the potential was. Apprehensive, I guess, is a better word than scared. Apprehensive of what the potential was, but what she kept going back to was, unlike most of the companies that would approach her, or maybe she had approached, or whatever the case may be, the vast majority of the conversation with Eric and whoever else may have been involved with Thunder was what they can do for Allison, what they can do for Duck Duck and so on. Not, we're going to give you this and what can we get out of you, which is by and large the typical conversations and sponsorships. What are you going to do for our company? And she was so moved by that. That moving forward with Thunder was a really easy decision for her. Relatively speaking, of course. So many people have met Allison, and you know, whether you met her for 30 seconds or 3 hours, or the few of us that got to really get to know her, didn't make a difference to her. The time that she got to meet people, to sign an autograph, to just hear your stories,
It's okay, brother.
was absolutely priceless to her. We had, just a couple weeks ago, she was picking me up. I have some health issues that are shortening my life considerably, and she was talking to me about the things that I've done for my country, my community, are going to far outlive me physically. And then we were talking about that with Duck Duck, that God forbid something happened to you, Allison, what you've accomplished at this point in your life is going to far outlive you physically. And this is a testament to that. However long Duck Duck carries on, and hopefully we can carry this on for beyond our lifetimes, it's a movement. Isn't just being nice, it's just being nice to each other. It's not hard. somebody cut you off, just let it go. Just be nice. It's just that simple. And that's what she lived for. Just to be nice. And again, I'm sorry I didn't really have anything prepared, so that was just kind of
That's good.
throwing it out.
Thank you again so much for being a part. Continue to pray for. Continue to pray for Cheryl. I mean, it's not easy. It's not fair. But you know what? You cry when you love. So she had an awesome mama by her side. An awesome mama needs a lot of prayer and support to keep this movement going. Thank you for raising an awesome daughter.
We love you, Cheryl.
Thank you for coming. It's been wonderful to see the turnout. What everybody's been saying and sharing on social media has been overwhelming, to be honest. When we shared the announcement of her passing back on June, the next week was non-stop for me as the social media manager here.
Acts of kindness for
Well, that was a celebration of life for Allison Parliament, the founder of DuckDuckJeep hashtag. So if you've ever been ducked, that's who you got to thank. Thank you, Allison. Keep the movement going.